Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that, let's be honest, happens to pretty much everyone trying to build a new habit. We're talking about the stumble. You know, that moment you fall off track. Specifically, how to get back into fasting after you've hit a roadblock. So if you've ever felt that sinking feeling of disappointment, like you've blown it, well, this is for you. We're going to flip the script on this whole experience and see it not as a failure, but as a really important part of the journey.
Oh man, it's such a familiar feeling, isn't it? You've got your goal, you're doing great, everything's going according to plan, and then, boom, it happens. Maybe it was a crazy stressful day at work, or a birthday party, or just a moment where temptation won. And right away, that voice in your head starts screaming, telling you you failed, so you might as well just give up completely. It's a really powerful feeling, but I need you to know, it's so common, and it is definitely not the end of the story.
This right here, this is the main idea we're going to hang on to today. A stumble is not a final defeat. It's just data. It's a learning experience. It's that moment where you get to press pause, take a look at your strategy, and then come back even stronger and smarter than you were before. So this isn't about trying to forget the mistake, it's about using it to build your success for the future.
All right, so to build that comeback, we first have to figure out why the stumble even happened in the first place. And here's something that's absolutely crucial to get. It's almost never, ever about a lack of willpower. Nope. The real reasons are usually way more practical. And you know the best part? They're fixable. So let's dive into this.
It's so easy to jump straight to beating ourselves up, right? We think, I'm just not disciplined enough. But that way of thinking is a total dead end. It doesn't give you anywhere to go. The reality, though, is so much more empowering. When you see it as a strategy problem, well, that means there's a solution. You're not the problem. The plan just needed a little tune-up. That's it.
So what do these little strategy tune-ups actually look like? Well, here are 4 of the biggest ones we see all the time. First up, unrealistic goals. You know, jumping straight into a 24-hour fast when you're just starting out, that's kind of like trying to run a marathon with zero training. It's setting yourself up for a tough time. Second, underestimating stress. When we're stressed out and drained, our brain just wants comfort, and a lot of times that means food. Third, not having a support system. If your friends and family don't really get what you're doing, it can feel pretty isolating and make it that much harder to stick with it. And finally, just not having enough info. If you go in without knowing the basics, it can feel uncomfortable and lead to you quitting too soon. Okay, so once we get that it's about strategy, not weakness, the very next step is getting our heads in the right place for the long game. And that means embracing progress over perfection. Honestly, this shift in how you think is probably the single biggest key to success with any new habit, but especially with fasting.
Let's just call this the good enough principle. It's this simple but really powerful idea that one off-plan meal or one broken fast, it doesn't wipe out all your hard work. I mean, think about it. If you fast successfully for 6 days a week and then stumble on the 7th, you still have 6 huge wins under your belt. The all-or-nothing brain only sees that one failure. But the good enough mindset, it sees that you were successful, 85% of the time? And it knows that's what really builds progress over time.
So how do we actually start thinking this way? Well, first, you literally have to tell yourself, out loud if you need to, perfection is not the goal here. Consistency is. Second, start tracking your wins. Get a little notebook and just write down every single time you complete a fast. Doesn't matter how short. You're building up evidence that you can do this. Third, work on that positive self-talk. Instead of, I failed today, try something like, okay, that was a tough moment, but what can I learn from it for tomorrow? And finally, you gotta celebrate those successes. When you hit a small goal, give yourself a pat on the back. That little bit of positive reinforcement makes the whole process feel way more enjoyable.
Okay, we've tweaked our strategy, we've got our mindset right. Now it's time to actually do something. Let's walk through a super practical step-by-step plan to get you back on track safely and without feeling overwhelmed. This is not about jumping back into the deep end. It's all about building momentum, one small, easy step at a time.
Let's walk through this together. Step 1, start small. Seriously, don't try to be a hero. Just begin with a simple 12-hour fast. Stop eating at 8 p.m., start again at 8 a.m. It's an easy win that builds your confidence right back up. Step 2, prepare your body. Before you start that fast, have a light, nourishing meal, something like a veggie soup. It just makes the transition into fasting so much smoother. Step 3 is so important, clarify your why. Take a minute and write down the real reason you're doing this. Is it for more energy, better health? What is it? Put that note somewhere you'll see it every day. It's your anchor. Step 4 is all about momentum. After you nail that first 12-hour fast, actually congratulate yourself. That one single day of success is the foundation you'll build on. And step 5, set a super simple rule. Something like no food after 8 p.m. It's clear, it's easy to follow, and it takes the guesswork out of it. All right, you've got your restart plan. But look, we all know life is going to throw curveballs and temptations our way. It just is. So, the trick is to get ahead of it, to be proactive. In this next part, we're going to cover some really smart, simple strategies to help you navigate those common hurdles that can trip up even the best of us. Let's look at a few common scenarios. First, stress eating. That feeling when you're overwhelmed and you just want to grab something. The key is to change your physical state. Don't just sit there fighting the urge, redirect it. A quick 5-minute walk outside can totally reset that stress response. Next up, the classic donuts in the office break room. The best play here is to control your environment. If you can, move them so you don't have to look at them all day. Out of sight, out of mind is a real thing, and it works. And finally, eating out with friends. This can feel like a minefield, right? The smart move is to plan ahead. Look up the menu online before you go and decide what you're going to order in advance. It takes all the pressure off of making a good choice in the moment.
Really, what all of this comes down to is a very simple but incredibly powerful idea. If you control your environment, you will have so much more control over your choices. It is way easier to shape your surroundings to support your goals than it is to just rely on pure willpower to fight off temptation all day long. This is about making the right choice the easy choice.
So we've talked strategy, we've talked mindset, we've talked daily tactics. Now let's just zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. Fasting doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? It's just one part of your overall lifestyle. And building a strong, resilient lifestyle around it, well, that's the ultimate foundation for making this whole thing feel natural and sustainable.
And listen, this isn't just a random list of healthy habits. This is your personal support system for making fasting work. Prioritizing sleep is absolutely non-negotiable, because when you're tired, your hunger hormones go haywire. Staying hydrated is so key because we often think we're hungry when we're actually just thirsty. Getting in some light movement, like walking, helps with your metabolism and your mood. Eating really nutrient-rich meals when you do eat makes sure you feel satisfied and have energy. And finally, having a pretty consistent daily rhythm just helps your body's internal clock get on board, which makes your fasting windows feel way more natural.
And you can see how none of these things works alone. They all feed into each other and create this amazing positive cycle. You get better sleep, you make better food choices, you get better nutrition, you have more energy to move, you stay hydrated, and everything in your body just works better. When all these pillars are strong, they hold up your fasting practice, making it strong enough to handle whatever life throws at it. That is what sustainable success really looks like.
So, as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with this final thought. If you can approach this whole journey with a sense of curiosity, you'll start to find that fasting is way less about what you can't do and way more about discovery. You learn about your body's real hunger signals. You learn about what triggers you emotionally. You learn what strategies actually work for your life. Every stumble, every single success, it's all just part of this practice of getting to know yourself a little bit better. So as we finish here today, I want you to really think about this question. What if that moment he thought was your biggest failure? That stumble that made you want to just quit? What if that was actually the most important thing that could have happened? What if it was the exact lesson you needed to learn so you could finally build a strategy that will last you for a lifetime? Your comeback, it starts right now.